Hello everybody, I hope all is well with you. Today I want to talk about top 5 books that I think you will find very interesting. The first book is called Somatics, and it's written by Thomas Hanna, and it addresses the fact that a lot of our issues, musculoskeletal issues, are because of our alignment and our awareness of our bodies. And awareness of our bodies is based on whether or not or how much trauma we've actually experienced. And it could be all kinds of trauma. It could be an accident, it could be a bad experience, anything like that. And that our bodies can hold that trauma. And maybe, you sort of see like body language. Someone is, kind of withdrawn and they're like this, or someone is very proud and they're like this. And so he talks a lot about that and offers little exercises, not calisthenics or anything, just sort of like ways of experimenting and things like that to help you become more aware of your body. Because one of the problems is that if something is painful to us or out of whack, we have a tendency to make it like white noise, just like try not to pay attention to it because it hurts all day or whatever all day, let's don't pay attention to it. But the problem is that by not being aware of that part, it's actually getting worse. So one of the little exercises that he does, which is a visualization, which I can tell you about right now, if you were to imagine your body is hollow, I sort of imagined like a hollow chocolate Easter bunny, and then you close your eyes and go down in through all your body as a hollow entity and try to feel for areas that might be painful, that might need to be worked on. And there is a lot of other information in the book. There's certain reflexes that there's one called the red light reflex where we're down like this. There's the green light reflex where we're ready to go and we're moving forward. And according to your personality type, you may be stuck in one of those reflexes. And for example, the green light reflex, you're ready to go and your back is arched. And if you're always holding yourself like that, that's going to strain your other muscles and things like that. Anyway, super interesting, super useful. Somatics by Thomas Hanna. The next book is actually 2 books, and it's about the raw food diet. As you know, I try to eat as much raw food as I possibly can in its natural state. A person can be 100% raw food, or it could be 80% raw food, 50%, or maybe you just eat one meal a day that's raw food. But incorporating raw food into your life is very good because it has all the enzymes, live enzymes that aren't affected by heat, and all the vitamins and things like that, and of course fiber and really great, wonderful things. The 2 books, one is called Fully Raw by Christina Carilla Bucaram, and the second one is called Raw Food by Julie Rodwell. And the first book, Fully Raw, is sort of a plan. It has a whole month or 21 days actually of transitioning into more raw food. So it's really great. It tells you, it has exercise information. It has ideas about or pitfalls or whatever in terms of what you might want to look for. It's very colorful, and the woman who wrote it, a young lady who actually is well known on YouTube. So if you wanted to look her up, Fully Raw on YouTube. And as a matter of fact, most of these books have to have information about them on YouTube or on the internet. So that's a great one, really cheery one to have. The second raw food book is The Raw Food by Julie Rodwell. It's about this thick, and it has everything you would need to know about all the different techniques of preparing raw food. There's special ingredients. Some raw foodists use dehydrators. There's information about that, sprouting, all kinds of things. And the recipes are contributed by a variety of raw food experts. So that makes it really interesting. And you can also, if you want, sort of lead into those experts and find more and more about them and things like that. I should do full disclosure here. It turns out that this book was written by, or actually was published by, a friend of mine. His name is Andrew Flack, and he is the head of Hatherley Press. And that was a big surprise to me. I actually had been reading the book for a while, a couple of days, and I don't know, I looked to see the date of the publication or something, but there it was. There it said Hatherley Press, Andrew Flagg. I was like, oh my gosh. So this is my friend's publication book. I loved the book before I even knew it was his book, so that's just full disclosure. Anyway, both the books I find to be just about, really good base of what you would want if you were interested in raw food, which I hope you are. The fourth book takes us off track a little bit. The name of the book is called Magical Passes, and it's by Carlos Castanedas, who was an author and a philosopher. He's a little controversial. He was in the Southwest, and some people believe that a lot of his philosophy was brought about in a drug-induced state. This book is not really about philosophy. It actually shows movements and exercise and activities designed to get yourself in touch with your own energy, and also the energy of things around you, such as the air, the sun, trees, or whatever, so that you can draw on that energy for your use, whatever you want to do with it. And it is a little bit like dance-like movements, almost a little bit like Tai Chi, but not slow. And there's a lot of visualization to it. For example, one exercise is where you're taking your feet and you're imagining that you're mashing the energy to bring up to your body like that with your feet. And it's really imaginative, and actually, even if it isn't true, it does really help. You do feel energized, and it could, I don't want to analyze why it might be, but I find that when I do a routine of these movements, that I do feel a lot more energized and open and ready for the day. And so I recommend that book, Magical Passes by Carlos Castanedas. And the fifth and final book is a book that has really influenced me. I was really amazed by this book. It's called The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. And the story behind the author is that he developed some computer software that just really was so successful and so popular. And he ended up being the CEO of his own company, this huge mega company. And however, during that time, he had to develop techniques or philosophies or whatever to help him emotionally and psychologically navigate this huge thing that was happening to him, this huge business that we turned into like buildings upon millions of dollars. So he, very intense and very quick. So the idea is that you are basically to always stay open. If someone, every day we come across people that may be insulting us, or we may see something on the news that's offensive, or we may be, get hurt or whatever by someone. The idea is to just forget it. just like, let it go and just always stay open every step of the way. Because what happens is if you keep closing down with every insult and offense and difficulty, you're basically going to be rendered unable to do things. So to stay open and always just be open. Another technique that he talks about is to allow, if you have a painful memory or memory that you're angry about, to let it come up again, which will be painful, but to then say goodbye to it. It's like, okay, you know what? I'm tired of thinking about this painful memory. The end. Goodbye. Just get it out of your way. And basically stay clear and present and focused on what you want to do, and just try to stay clean and clear. There are a few other things that he talks about in there, but I have found that technique to be really useful and really truthful, really genuine. So I recommend this book. It's pretty fast to read, and it's called The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. And if you're very interested in his story, he does have another book that he wrote, I think, before this one, that talks about his experience as the CEO of that company, which some of the things that happened were unbelievable. Like one day he came home and the FBI had helicopters all over his buildings because one of his employees had embezzled or something like that. So there's a lot of, I mean, so there's a lot of things that in his business that really he had, that he really had to overcome. So anyway, Untethered Soul, Michael I. Singer, and that's that book. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you get a chance to read those books, or at least look them up online and read a little bit about them and have them influence you in a really great way. I would love to hear about your favorite books. My email is dovemusic55@yahoo.com, and I am all over social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything if you want to get in touch with me there. But I would love to hear about your books. I always love new ideas and new ways of improving lifestyle and things like that. And thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day, and keep on reading.